The most important day in a patient's life is that one day they sit before a doctor and hear the words, "You have cancer." And what the Epley Cancer Center is trying to provide for these patients is hope that that day changes into a lifetime of survival.
We're not the largest cancer center by far, but the quality of the research is excellent, and we're known by what we do.
What the patient should want first and foremost is the best care for them as an individual that's possible.
My mother sought her health care from another facility, and there's just absolutely no comparison whatsoever, none. I don't believe she was involved as much in her health care. The best possible scenarios and the best outcomes, I don't think were weighed as much with her as they have been with me.
There are a lot of large research centers. The laboratory-based research is much separate from the patient-based care. And here we're much closer. We collaborate together. We're all in the same building, and therefore we can use what's understood in the laboratory to take it to the patients in a much quicker period of time.
The major hallmark of this is that you have a team of basic scientists and clinicians working together on what's called translational research. So translational research is a type of research where you really have basic scientists and clinicians working together to try to come up with rapid methods of either treating or diagnosing diseases.
It is a cancer center that has a considerable amount of translational activity, and it's an objective, a very conscious objective. And I think that's what cancer research is all about.
Whatever we do in the lab, it will not make a difference till we collaborate with clinicians who are really have passion for the disease. Aaron Sasan and I work together. We very much close relationship because he provides us information about the clinical side of the pancreatic cancer, and I'm a basic scientist, so we are trying to do together.
Clinical trials has to be done to make sure that what look like an effective treatment, in the lab can actually be applied to patients.
It is extremely important that I have my clinical partners and that I'm aware at all times of what is changing. And through the Epley Cancer Center, we're in regular meetings and working groups and talking over ideas with them about, what is the next step in our research. And so that's a real benefit.
The Breast Cancer Registry is a program to establish a database of people's family backgrounds, their dietary habits, their medical histories, and laboratory results. Then we turn it over to our researchers that collectively bring it all together so that you can create new therapies and new studies to further our progress in breast research.
This registry will be the first statewide comprehensive registry of women with breast cancer, answering questions about what may have impacted and influenced their risk of getting breast cancer and what influenced their chances of surviving this disease in terms of treatment, and also what factors influence their quality of life.
This center is going to have number of goals: diagnostic, prognostic, and therapeutic goal. And one of the things we want to have in diagnostic part is epidemiology of breast cancer, and having the registry is very important part of that.
It's unique. It's the first time that we've been able to actually capture this information in this way. We're able to study markers that we've discovered very specifically, and that's another reason we want to really put forth this registry, is we want to be able to have a large collection to hopefully someday maybe even start to diagnose early breast cancer in a urine specimen versus having to wait for a growth to actually appear on a mammogram.
I think almost all current cancer therapies probably are imperfect in one form or another. In other words, they're not specific enough, they're not targeted enough, they have side effects. And so the goal is, of course, to identify more tailored therapies that will cause less toxicity.
Technology has advanced so much that we now know there are 25,000 genes in every single cell, including every single cancer cell. But the technology is also advanced so that you can now ask questions about all 25,000 genes at one time, and in a 3-day period get the answer to all 25,000 questions.
So the way we can do that is with this RNAi library. It's a set of little pieces of RNA that are targeted to every single gene in the human genome.
We actually invested over $1 million to set up a robotic facility that is incredible. The robot works 24/7. It's run by some senior scientists who help program the robot, but it can actually add solutions, cells, inhibitors. It can actually incubate it at different temperatures. It can stir things up, and at the end, it takes the plates out and actually puts it in 3 or 4 different types of readout devices that can automatically read all 25,000 plates in a few hours and tell you the results.
Apley Cancer Center is one of the 20 or so centers anywhere to put together the facilities that will allow us to do this in a very high throughput fashion, where we can look at all of the genes concurrently in terms of their function.
Clinicians or oncologists treated cancer or breast cancer as one size fits all. But now we are realizing that each patient may be very different from the other patient.
These increases, these advances in cancer therapy based on our advances in our understanding of cancer have led to new, targeted, specific, less toxic therapies that are leading to significant improvements in survival.
In the immediate future, hopefully we'll be able to find some new agents that are effective in treating cancer. That's desperately needed.
I think we're going to continue to see development of a lot of these new drugs, again, that are targeted drugs and that cause less side effects and are more effective just against the cancer cells. And those are probably going to be combined with our agents we already have together to try to see if we can target those just to patients where they would be benefited and not to use drugs that are going to cause side effects for no benefit.
So we're very fortunate that within the Cancer Center there's a Center for Nanomedicine that actually is focusing on developing new drugs, new materials, new ways of treating cancer based on the new science of nanomedicine.
With the new materials especially, and with the nanomaterials, we want to create the modalities which will be effective and at the same time safe. So a big challenge is to create the systems which will be truly safe.
I can remember patients I saw back when my career started approximately 30 years ago, who you'd give anything to be able to treat again today, because people that were going to die back then, because of what's happened over the last 30 years, would have a wonderful chance to stay alive today.
I am very optimistic because with each step that we make forward, we are prolonging the good life of patients that otherwise would not have that opportunity.
Every single year for the last decade, we've saved 5,000 more lives, almost 50,000 people alive today that wouldn't have been alive 10 years ago if we'd stuck with the same standard therapies. So research is leading to improvements in survival, more hope for patients diagnosed with cancer.
To realize you're part of this team, not just here, but all around the world, of people who are trying to help patients and make them better, I can't imagine a more rewarding way to have spent my career.